Hello and welcome to Let's Play SpaceChem. So if you've been following the channel, you know that I've been mainly playing Mass Effect for the channel lately, but I thought I'd try something new, and so I've had this game for a while, but I've never gotten like really deep into it, and so I wanted to give it a try. And since I do focus on story-driven games on this channel, this game does have kind of a quirky story, which I will have to actually read to you as we go. Anyway, let's get started. So this is the first planet, Sernimir 2. I think it's sort of like Seminar, maybe. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. So this first video here is actually links to like a YouTube video, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that. And we're going to move on to research of pancakes and spaceships. So we have a little new story bit of pancakes and spaceships. You know, people die in space. That was the first sentence in the latest letter from my mother. She never set foot on a ship, let alone off the colony of Sangfroid. When I told her that I wanted to explore the stars, she cried. We were sitting in the local diner, stacks of pancakes swimming in syrup and butter on our plates, with every face watching my mother's tears roll down her cheeks as I continued eating. I was 10. She attached a news article about a recent incident involving a SpaceChem station in a secluded region of the galaxy. Half of the crew had been ejected through the airlock due to a strange malfunction. The survivors were not available for comment. Needless to say, my career choice was wholly opposed. The stakes are just too high. Look at these reports, she said in the message. I could hear her voice rising with each word. I deleted it and turned off the tablet. The shuttle was en route to the training facility on Sernimir 2, billions of kilometers away from Sangfroid. In a few hours, I would be setting foot on another planet for the first time. I gazed out the window and watched the stars shimmer in the distance. You've never been up here before? The pilot called back to me. Nope, first time. Then you've never been through one of these jumps either. Sit tight. My hand gripped the armrest as we hit the jump to Sernimir 2. I thought I could hear my mother crying, but it was just the pilot laughing. So that's an interesting start. And let's move on to training. Reactors and reactions. Reactors are programmed with reactions to transform one set of chemical substances into another. Reactors may move atoms, rotate molecules, and modify bonds. In research assignments, a reactor is programmed to perform a single reaction. These are Waldos. They grab, move, rotate, and drop atoms. Atoms bonded together and the molecules move together. Waldos move constantly and can be redirected with arrow instructions. Waldos execute arrow and reactor instructions of the matching color when passing over them. And we'll go ahead and get started. So this is the first tutorial. These tutorials are really easy, and we'll just go through them pretty quickly. Now this one's pretty much just telling me exactly what to do, and I just have to do what it tells me. Yep. Alright. So as you can see, it's just moving stuff around. And I can speed it up if I want. And so basically, usually you have to get like 10 of these things through. And then when you're done, it kind of rates your performance, like so. Obviously, for these tutorials, there's not a lot of spread. You can actually make it faster, but that's by not doing what it told you to do. All right, next tutorial, research, slightly different. Training, atoms and molecules. Atoms are the building blocks of all matter. Molecules consist of one or more atoms joined by bonds. Atoms of the same element have the same properties. Oxygen, carbon, and iron are examples of elements. A molecule is manipulated by a Waldo as a single unit. Water, methane, and salt are examples of molecules. These molecules are the same. these molecules are all different. So it's showing like as long as they kind of go in the same order, like hydrogen, carbon, carbon, hydrogen, etc. Doesn't matter what angles they come off, they're the same. These ones are not. The identity of a molecule is determined by the types of its atoms and their bonds. Rotation and the angle of bonds do not change the molecule's identity. To solve this puzzle, we will use the blue Waldo, which behaves identically to the red Waldo but executes only blue instructions. To create a blue beta input, drop a red alpha input instruction and right-click on it. You can switch to drop blue. Yeah, I know this. This is all pretty easy. I'm just gonna kind of go through it pretty quickly. Oh, now it's left me on my own. Never mind. So I drop it here, and then we want to say out, and I think we can just go through it. And this is just moving things around. It's again just really learning how the Waldos work. The music in this game is really cool. Research. Crossover. Hold on, did it just... Oh, yeah, just jumped us right into it. So in this case, we need to get the gold atom here down to the lower right, and the platinum atom here up into the upper right. So let's worry about red first. There is a more efficient way to do this, but I'm just trying to get through it quickly. Research, an introduction to bonding. So new training, bonding and synchronization. Bonders add and remove bonds from atoms. Click and drag bonders to move them. The sync instruction in action, which I actually used if you saw in the last tutorial. The blue Waldo will wait at the sync instruction until the red Waldo reaches its sync instruction. Adjacent bonders add or remove bonds from pairs of atoms above them. All bonders in a reactor fire together. This instruction specifies where a Waldo starts and can be moved like any other instruction, but it cannot be created or deleted. Move the red start instruction to the highlighted square. And then it's saying like, yeah, in. Now the grab drop, it's just basically saying I can actually specify specifically grab only. These things can be moved around too. Usually I like to move the ones that I'm not using like somewhere out of the way. And the bond instruction. So this was just pretty much telling me exactly what to do. All right, let's give it a shot. Looks successful. Let's speed up. Research, a brief history of SpaceChem. And we have a new story. A brief history of SpaceChem. The training facility on Sernimir 2 was a campus of rectangular metal buildings connected by corrugated tunnels with a landing zone located west of the reactor field. There was only a trace atmosphere on the surface, leaving the horizon empty except for the central star and the sister planet Sernimir 4. I sat in a folding chair behind a table in a brightly lit room with 15 other trainees. A middle-aged woman stood at the front of the room smiling. She wore a gray jumpsuit with a name tag that read, Angela. "Welcome to your first day of training," she said. "We're going to get started with some of the basics about SpaceChem, its founding and mission. We'll get through some of the drier material later in this session." As she clapped her hands, the lights dimmed and a SpaceChem logo appeared on the wall. SpaceChem was founded in 2745 by George Vossler. An image of a portly mustachioed man appeared for a moment before Angela flicked to the next screen, which contained the likeness of a salmon. Originally, SpaceChem was a subsidiary of Vossler Industries, specializing in the manufacture of fish-based food products. Later on, Vossler Industries folded and SpaceChem expanded into chemical engineering. The fish disappeared and was replaced by a star field. Ever since, SpaceChem has revolutionized the industry with its reactor technology. We currently employ over 200,000 individuals in various capacities on over 3,000 planets and stations. SpaceChem is the largest chemical engineering and manufacturing company in the universe. Another SpaceChem logo materialized. SpaceChem's goal is to provide high-quality chemical necessities to human colonies on a universal scale in an economical and effortless manner. Angela clapped to turn on the lights. Any questions so far? Interesting. And we'll go on to training. Bond progression. A pair of atoms can have a maximum of 3 bonds between them. Additionally, each element has a maximum number of bonds allowed per atom. This information can be found on the periodic table. Attempting to add more bonds than is allowed will not work, but will not cause any problems. Interesting. Alright, we're supposed to make hydrochloric acid. And I guess we're on our own now. As I said, I like to move these things out of the way. Grab the chlorine and whip it around. And then, so for this one, blue to be like one step behind red. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That should work. So I'm trying to do it without a sync instruction, which means that I have to be pretty precise. Well, let's try. Yeah, I think we got it. There we go. Not bad. As you can see, I used less symbols because I didn't use any sync instructions. That's kind of this is what's neat about this. It kind of shows you there's different ways that you can kind of judge yourself. And the last one on this planet, removing bonds. Oh, and it just threw us in here. So now what I need to do is time this. Now, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if this will work. Let's try it. I think it's working. Nope, didn't work. Yeah, I was trying to again do it without a sync instruction, but did not like that. That means that these must... Somehow this one's catching up. Which it feels like it shouldn't. But When in doubt, throw sync construction in there. Yep, I guess it wasn't bad. Decent time, decent amount of symbols. Alright, moving along. So now we're on Sernimir 4. So as you can see, you can go different planets. But we're going to start on the second tutorial planet next time. If you like this Let's Play, be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon if you're so inclined. And I'll see you later.